Oh my, y'all. I gotta drop my brush on this one. Hey you guys, welcome back. I'm Lala's Grain, and guess what? I'm back too. I was gone from YouTube for a little bit, but I'm back and it feels so good to be back. Like, let me just say that. I absolutely love doing these videos. I love not just playing with makeup and like, the whole, video creating behind the scenes, but I really love the interaction and the positivity. Like, there's so many people who have reached out to me. It's been really overwhelming and it's been so amazing to just hear back from you guys. Like, overwhelming in the sense of that it moves me, right? Because it's like sometimes you'll do stuff, but you don't always know how it impacts other people. But when other people like what you do, love what you do, or give you praise, or it helps them, it really does make a difference. So thank you guys so much. For today's video, we're gonna be focusing on the Empowered palette by Huda Beauty, you guys. Now, I really do like Huda's brand. I do love her eyeshadows. I'm such a huge fan. And I honestly love the brand because I feel like over time, Huda has taken some of the constructive feedback that she's gotten on things and she's improved. She's gotten better. Like, I love how her brand has grown. And I'm a fan of this Empowered palette because the shade names, the palette itself, there's so much positivity in this palette. And I think this is a really good release so far. I have a confession though. I did already use this palette. I know. I had to. I did my best friend's makeup for a wedding that she went to, and I used the Empowered palette as well as the Naughty palette. The look, I came up with these palettes. But you guys, the look was so beautiful. And I told myself that this Empowered palette is just so meaningful and it's beautiful that I have to do a video where I focus on this palette. So that's gonna be the star of the show for today. I did purchase the palette from her website. This palette retails for $67. This palette has 18 shades, so many different textures. Wow, this palette is so much fun. There's so many endless looks that you'll be able to come up with. And while I was on her website, I did purchase like just other products that I wanted to try as well. So I'll definitely show them in today's video. I am gonna try to stay on her brand as much as possible for today. So I did get the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Primer. Actually, confession, I've had this primer for some time, probably around the time when it first came out, but I never even used this. So it's just been, I just have too much makeup. But we're definitely gonna use this today. It actually retails for $33 and it's a hydrating primer. Let's see what the texture is like. It kind of reminds me of the Milk Hydro Grip? The Milk Hydro Primer, like the blue greenish one. I did use that and I did like it. Okay, so far, I love how thin it is and it looks like it'll probably be moisturizing. I like the fact that it's not too tacky. Some of these hydro primers are too tacky, and then when you try to blend out your foundation, it just sometimes creates a mess. So just make sure you're not using like too much with it. Oh wait, let me zoom you guys in. All right, that's better. I had to put my hair back and I wanted to zoom you guys in. All right, so let me put a little bit more of this primer on. I'm back. All right, let me stop. So for my foundation, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Buildable Coverage Foundation Stick. I have two of the sticks. I wasn't sure which color would match me more. And because my skin is warm golden, sometimes I feel like I have to mix foundations that are both a little bit red but also golden just to get that nice mix that I need for my skin tone. So these are vegan and cruelty free. It says that it's a lightweight foundation that glides on easily, providing customizable coverage with a natural looking skin-like finish. It says that the coverage is full to light. I'm really gonna be looking to see, can you get a full coverage finish with a stick foundation? Normally I wouldn't, like if I want a full coverage foundation, I usually don't gravitate towards the stick foundations. Now, I don't mind using stick foundations, but the only thing that I don't like about it is, for me, in my past experience with the stick foundations that I've used, they are more transferable to like what I'm wearing or like when I touch it, and that is sometimes what deters me from using stick foundations. I feel like no foundation is ever like non-transferable, right? Like you're gonna get some type of transfer. But this, it says that it's transfer proof. Not transfer resistant, but transfer proof. So we're gonna see. It says it's fragrance-free, humidity and sweat-resistant formula that melts into your skin with a natural filtered finish. So whether you prefer full or light coverage, this versatile formula will let you be the master of your complexion. Swipe it on, set it, and forget it for the rest of the day. All right, this already has a lot of promises. We're gonna go ahead and see. So the two shades that I got are Nutmeg 520G, which is golden, and then Coffee Bean, which is 530R. Now, of course, when I apply it, I wouldn't like apply it like this, but I just want you guys to see how much product it is that comes with this. All right, so this first one is 520G. Okay, let's see. And then this next one is 530R. So let's see what the shade difference is. All right, so 520 is this one, then 530. So obviously I will say that she does do a pretty good job because the golden is definitely golden, the red is definitely warm. Now this by itself is way too red, too warm on me. I would literally look like an Oompa Loompa. Not cute. I have to mix these together. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swipe this on. And I'm gonna add in some of that 530. Time to blend. I'm gonna be using the Sonia Kashuk brush. This is a kabuki brush. If you haven't tried any of Sonia Kashuk's brushes, especially her foundation brushes, they are so good. You can find them at Target. Okay, coverage. I wasn't expecting to see this much coverage already, and the color looks really good. Anytime I match a foundation, I always match it to my chest because my neck is just a little bit darker, but look at this. I just realized I forgot to color correct, but it's okay. I don't color correct every day anyways, but it's all right. We'll get to see how much coverage this foundation is, especially since I didn't do that. All right, so this is what the coverage is looking like so far. And I would honestly say that looking at this right now, this is probably more so medium. I wouldn't say this is full. Maybe I'll build it up some. Yeah, let me go ahead and build it up some more and let's see what that looks like. So I'll probably add maybe just one more swipe to each side. So this is what it looks like with the extra added on layer. I still don't feel like it's full coverage in my opinion. Only because, I mean, I've worked with other foundations that are more pigmented, that are much more full coverage. Is this buildable? Absolutely. Is it easy to blend out? Oh my goodness, this is so easy to blend out. And I'm already liking the formula just on the very first impression. Of course, I have to see like how it lasts throughout the day and all that stuff. But just right now, from just first impressions, I would still say it's medium coverage, not full, but I feel like I have a pretty good amount of coverage with this. So staying on brand today, I'm gonna be using her concealer. It's the Overachiever Concealer. And this is the shade Peanut Butter, by the way. I honestly wish that she would release new concealers. I'm not really a big fan of the concealer that she already has. I've used this before. I know I've talked about it before. So the Huda Beauty Tantour, I actually just purchased this as a refill. So here's the Tantour, and I'm gonna be using this as my contour, and it's in the shade Tan. Love this formula, you guys. It's so creamy. It's supposed to go from like a cream to a powder. I love the way it sets and sits on the skin. I'm next gonna use the Huda Beauty Powder in Kunifa. So instead of going right to eyeshadow, I kind of just want to go ahead and put my blush on right now. I want to use the Coral Cutie. It's the Huda Beauty Cream Blush. I haven't used any of her liquid cream blushes before, so this is definitely a first to me. So this is how the packaging looks. It almost looks like a giant chapstick thing. Let me see, does it wind up? Okay, yeah, so it winds up from the bottom. And this retails for $25 for one blush stick. And it says that it's a cream blush that melts into the skin and has a dewy finish. I love dewy finishes. So let's see how this looks. Ooh, this is pretty. Okay, look at that pigment. All right, tap my brush in a little bit, not too much. And it does look like, yeah, it will be dewy. I'm trying to see how much pigment I'm gonna get to come through. I would agree, it is looking dewy on my face. All right, so I would say it is starting to show up, but but I feel like I have to use a lot of product. That pigment isn't like it's not as pigmented. It's not as pigmented as I would like it to be, but it's not bad. I feel like it's giving me a nice little blush from within because of how dewy it is as well. So it looks good though. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with the GloWish Luminous Pressed Powder in Deep 10. I have used this powder before, and I really like this pressed powder, y'all. So I'm not gonna record myself swatching each and every single shade of this palette, but I wanted you guys to be able to see like how many different types of just textures there are, and just like there's so much you can do with this palette. Look at this. Isn't that really unique? And it's described as a black hybrid gel liner shadow. I can just go ahead and swatch just this one so you guys can see. All right, camera focus. There we go. I hope you guys can see it. But it's like a gel liner, but also like a shadow. Like the fact that she's got like these hybrids, I think that that's so cool. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the next shade. It's called Courageous, and it's a multi-chromatic, creamy metallic. Just look at the shade. That is so beautiful, y'all. All right, let me swatch like maybe like 2 more shades. So this one right here is called Limitless, and it's described as a gold crushed flakes metallic. All right, let's swatch this one. Oh my goodness. So vibrant in person. I feel like the camera isn't even doing these shades justice. So I definitely want to swatch this shade called Manifested. It's described as a copper gloss hybrid metallic. So let's see. And that's what it looks like swatched out. All right, last shade I'm gonna swatch on camera. This is called Visionary, and it's described as a bold and brown marble. So here are all 18 shades swatched out. Look at them, they look so beautiful. All right, so I zoomed y'all in some more, and I took a little quick break. So now it's time for the eyes. All right, so for my eyeshadow primer, you guys know I don't use eyeshadow primer. I just like to use a concealer. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids. I don't even know which shade I want to start with first. Oh, they just all look so gorgeous. So I'm just gonna start. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with Legacy. You guys know I am all about meaning and purpose, and when you have makeup like this, it's like it's positive, it's empowering. It really honestly just captures me and draws me in. Like, I love the positivity. I love the whole theme of this palette, the color story. I need to save my final thoughts to that. All right, anyways, let's just go ahead and start off with Legacy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush. This is a Morphe brush, Morphe M504. And I'm gonna go just directly in my crease with this color. I have no idea what kind of look I'm trying to do. I don't even know. I'm really just like super excited to use this palette. Like I don't know what kind of look I want. I feel so indecisive today. And I'm not necessarily blending yet. I'm really just trying to place this where I want it to be. I've got the color where I want it. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this shade called Keep Going, and it's this shade right here. This really speaks to me in this whole video right now and just starting YouTube. Keep Going. And I'm just gonna use this to just blend out the edges of the color that I had placed down. Wow, this is blending in so easily to Legacy. This is a very beautiful transition. I'm just gonna go back into Legacy. And I want a little bit more Legacy on my lid. This is so pretty already. I could just put on some liner, lashes, and be done. I've got a clean blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade right here called Big Dreams. This whole palette is like describing my journey right now. Like, oh my goodness. And I'm just tapping this color right here in the middle part of my lid and also in my crease. All right, I want to go back into Legacy. I don't want to lose Legacy at all, so I'm just building these colors up really nice. And I'm going to go back into Best Self and then use that to blend out the top again. Best Self is a really cute color. She's like a peachy tan nude. It's literally just like blending in. I'm taking a really small blending brush and I just want to add some more depth in my outer V. So I'm going to use Confident. And I only want just a teeny bit of this just to create some more depth. Oh, this is so beautiful so far. I don't want this to be an all matte look, but I'm just having so much fun layering and building up these mattes. But I'm definitely gonna play with one of these metallics. Limitless is the color I'm gonna use next. And that is this color right here. I think that's the one that was described as the flaky gold. Like, oh, it's so pretty. The texture of this color, it literally feels like it's wet, almost like it's a cream. And I'm just gonna use my finger and I'm just gonna go right in. Hopefully I don't get no fallout. This shade Limitless, this shade is so amazing. Like it's literally just sticking to my lid like so easily. I'm not even having any fallout. Oh my goodness, this shade is so beautiful. I haven't tried to use a brush to apply this. I'm usually more comfortable applying like metallics and shimmers with the finger on my lid. I have no problem using my finger. I actually like to, I prefer to. But I will go ahead and use a brush. Let me see if it's picking, it is picking up on the brush, just so I can get right in here. Perfect. I'm not having any issues with application. Even with the brush, it's applying perfectly. Oh my, y'all. I gotta drop my brush on this one. I give it up to Huda. Like this is amazing. For my lower lash line, I want to use the color Winner. And I want to say that this color, this shade is actually close to Big Dreams. It just looks like it might be a little bit more cooler tone as well as a little bit darker. I like this shade so far. It's almost like a muted gray purple. I do like it. Maybe that might not be the best color to describe it, but literally that's what it looks like to me. And I like the element of smokiness that it's adding to my eyes. I'm gonna go into the color Rebel. I do like Winter, but I don't want to put that all over my lower lash line, so I'm gonna use Rebel instead. So I'm going back and forth between Rebel and Winter, and I'm just taking these shades and really just blending them together on my lower lash line so I get that really nice ombre grading on my lower lash line. You guys already know I have to play with one of these gel liners. I'm gonna take a flat edged brush and I'm going to use this to line my lower lash line with the brown liner. So this brush, it's not a super like sharp flat brush, but I do like it for my lower lash line, especially when I want to buff some color into it. So I'm going to use the dark brown color. Ooh, so far this is gliding on really easily. And usually I use a pencil for this type of situation, but I do like the fact that, now personally, I actually don't mind that these creamier textures are in this palette. I think it's nice because already if you're doing an eye look, you already have the palette out. All you gotta do is grab your brush and go ahead and line your eyes. Now, I know some people don't like that in their palettes. I know when she came out with that first palette, was it Naughty Nudes? Naughty Nudes, it's like the pinkish one. I definitely have that palette somewhere around here, but that was probably, I think, like her first palette where she had a concealer built into the palette itself. And I know a lot of people didn't like that, but for me, I don't mind. I actually do like playing with the different textures and being able to have it. I feel like it's quick and easier. I'm so tempted to use this color Courageous. That is me coming back to YouTube and filming this video. Honestly, this whole palette is like, I chose to film with this palette today, but I feel just really moved. Like, by, you know, just the whole palette and the shade names, because it's really speaking to me in regards to just me coming back to YouTube, my journey with certain things and whatnot. And literally it took a lot of courage for me to come back and do this video today. I had so many roadblocks that I felt like I was just going through. I almost did not shoot this video today, but I'm so glad to be back, and I have to use this color Courageous. And I'm gonna use this on my lower lash line. I did just use the gel liner, Worthy. I'm gonna put Courageous essentially on top of Worthy. The brown liner will still show because it did add, you know, smokiness to my lower lash line. This color Courageous really just ties in this look together. Everything in this palette is just so beautiful, y'all. Like, oh, I can't. So the last thing I want to do is I want to use Purpose, and that is the black eyeliner. I'm going to use that on my top lash line. And I'm going to use a much flatter brush for this because I really want to get this in my waterline. I'm really loving how Purpose is looking. I just hope that it's gonna just dry down a little bit more, but it was so easy to use. It glided on perfectly. Honestly, I would literally purchase this on its own. I have to see if she sells it by itself. But if I was using another palette, I'd probably just come back to this palette, even just to use Purpose on its own. I wanted to apply my lips on camera, so while I'm waiting for my lashes to dry, I did get 2 of her matte bullet lipsticks. I already have a few of her lipsticks, and if you have not tried Huda's lipsticks, okay, so far, if there's any takeaways that you guys have to try from this video, definitely the palette, and then definitely pick up one of her lipsticks. It doesn't matter what shade. These lipsticks are so creamy, long lasting, like it's comfortable on the lips. The first shade that I got is Spring Break, and I'm not gonna use it with this look. It's really a nice, beautiful matte pink bright magenta, but instead I'm going to use Anniversary. So when I did my best friend's makeup for her lip, I had just bought this lipstick called Anniversary, and I used it on her. She loved it. I loved it on her, and so I gave her that one, and then I went out like the next day and then purchased another one for myself. So this is Anniversary right here. That is such a beautiful nude color. Look at that. That's gonna go perfect with this look. I have one of her lip liners, and it's called Rich Brown, is it? Yep, Rich Brown. It's a Lip Contour 2.0, and that's the liner right there. So I'm gonna use this liner as well as Anniversary for my lips. Isn't this look gorgeous? It is so amazing. Like, I need to go somewhere tonight. It looks so good. I love how this look came out. I'm so happy that I used this Empowered palette today. I feel like with me coming back into YouTube and just restarting this journey again, using this palette is really just so like, just really memorable and emotional for me as well. So I'm really glad that I was able to use it. The color story in this palette is so amazing. And I feel like if I'm traveling for me, this would probably be the only palette that I would pack, simply because it has nighttime looks, daytime looks, natural, especially with the 2 eyeliners. I feel like it's a win-win situation. And for $67, 100% worth it. Thank you guys so much for everything, for your support. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Go ahead, like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna post on there more, I already know. But my Instagram is @lalasgrain_. Thank you guys so much, and I'm very grateful to my best friend, my husband, and my baby sister, who were so inspirational and were just so encouraging to helping me to get back on this platform. Thank you guys so much. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.